Deep in a sun-dappled forest stood a little fir tree. It was a lovely little tree, and it had a good spot. Sunshine warmed it, fresh air blew over it, and all around grew many bigger companion pines, as well as firs. But the little fir tree was in a great hurry to grow up. It didn't care about the warm sun or the fresh air. It paid no attention to the peasant children who chatted happily as they gathered wild strawberries or raspberries. "Oh, if only I were as tall as the others," the little tree would sigh. "Then I could spread my branches so far, and from my crown, I could look out into the wide world. The birds would build nests in my branches, and when the wind blew, I would nod my head with such dignity. Just like the others do," the sunbeams would say. "Rejoice in your youth," and the wind would kiss the tree, and the dew would weep tears over it. But the fir tree did not understand. When autumn came, the woodcutters arrived and felled some of the largest trees. The young fir, now quite tall, shivered as the great, magnificent trees crashed to the ground. Then, they were laid on wagons, and horses pulled them away, out of the forest. Where were they going? What fate awaited them? In the spring, when the swallows and storks arrived, the tree asked them, "Do you know where they were taken? Did you meet them?" The storks just nodded their heads wisely, but said nothing. "Rejoice in your life," said the sunbeams. "Rejoice in your fresh growth, the young life that is in you." But the fir tree did not rejoice at all. By Christmas time, many young trees were cut down, trees that were often much smaller than our fir tree. These young trees kept all their branches. They were laid on wagons, and horses pulled them away from the forest. "Where are they all going?" asked the fir tree. "They are no bigger than I am, and they get to keep all their branches." "Why, we know," chirped the sparrows. "We have peeped in through the windows in the town below. We know where they go. Oh, you wouldn't believe the splendor. We have seen them planted in the middle of warm rooms and decorated with the most beautiful things: gilded apples, gingerbread, toys, and hundreds of bright candles." "And then?" asked the fir tree, trembling in every bough. "And then? What happens then?" "Oh, we haven't seen any more," said the sparrows, "but it was magnificent. To be decorated like that, this is even better than sailing across the sea. I am so weary of this longing. Oh, I wish it were Christmas now. I am tall and spread my branches just like the others that were taken last year. Oh, I wish I were already on the wagon. I wish I were in the warm room with all the splendor and magnificence. And then, yes, then something even better, something even more glorious must follow. Or why else would they decorate me so? It must be something grander. Rejoice in us," said the air and the sunlight. "Rejoice in your youth out here in the open." But the tree did not rejoice. It grew and grew. Winter and summer it stood there, its color a deep, healthy green. Just before the next Christmas, the fir tree was the first to be cut down. The axe struck deep into its pith. The tree fell to the earth with a sigh. It felt a pang, a faintness. It couldn't think of happiness at all. It was sad to be leaving its home, the place where it had sprung up. It knew it would never again see its dear old companions, the little bushes and flowers around it, perhaps not even the birds. The tree was loaded onto a wagon and taken to a large house. In a bright, warm room, it was placed in a large tub filled with sand. But no one could see that it was a tub, for it was hung with green cloth and stood on a large, gaily colored carpet. Oh, how the tree trembled! What was going to happen? Servants and young ladies came and began to decorate it. On one branch they hung little nets cut out of colored paper. Every net was filled with gilded apples and walnuts, hung down as if they grew there, and more than 100 little candles, red, white, and blue, were fastened to the branches. Dolls that looked for all the world like real people swung among the foliage, and high up, at the very top, was set a large star of gold tinsel. It was splendid, wonderfully splendid. In the evening, the candles were lit. What a brilliance! What a splendor, too! The fir tree trembled so in all its branches that one of the candles set fire to a green twig. It blazed up. "Oh!" cried the young ladies, and they quickly put it out. Now the tree didn't even dare to tremble. It was so afraid of losing any of its finery. Then the folding doors were thrown open. and a crowd of children rushed in as if they would upset the whole tree. The older people followed more calmly. Still, the little ones stood silent, but only for a moment. Then they shouted with glee, dancing around the tree and snatching one present after another. "What are they doing?" thought the tree. "What is going to happen?" The candles burned down to the very branches, and as they burned down they were put out, and then the children were given permission to plunder the tree. Oh, they rushed in so that all its branches cracked. If it had not been fastened to the ceiling by the top and the golden star, it would have been thrown down. The next morning, the maids came in. "Now, my glory will begin again," thought the tree. But they dragged it out of the room, up the stairs, and into a dark corner of the attic where no daylight shone. "What am I to do here?" It wondered, leaned against the wall, and thought and thought. It had plenty of time for thinking, for days and nights went by. Nobody came up. One day, some little mice crept out and sniffed at the fir tree. "Where do you come from, you old thing?" they asked. The tree told them all about its youth in the forest and the glorious Christmas Eve. The little mice had never heard anything like it. "How lucky you have been," they said. But one morning, people came and rummaged in the attic. The tree was dragged out and thrown rather roughly down the stairs. A boy seized it and ran out into the yard. The tree saw the bright flowers in the garden and felt the fresh air. "Now life begins again," it thought. It spread its branches, but alas, they were all withered and yellow. It lay in a corner among weeds and nettles, thought. The golden star was still on its top, and it glittered in the bright sunshine. Some of the children who had danced around the tree at Christmas were playing in the yard. The youngest ran up and tore off the golden star.